Hi, my name is Marnie Winters. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel. The purpose of my channel is to provide college and career information to video viewers. Joining us today, directly behind my head, is Sydney Lou, my assistant, who I believe periodically may be sleeping on the job. Today's topic is managing stress while you're enrolled in college. Effectively managing your stress will help make college easier on you. It'll help make it easier for you to do well, to be successful, to get good grades. So I've got some tips and strategies here that will make managing your stress a lot easier. The first tip that I have you is to effectively manage your course load. This means to manage the amount of classes that you're in each semester. You only need to have a minimum of 6 credit hours each term to be eligible for financial aid. Now, by enrolling in part-time hours and enrolling in 6 hours will make you just eligible for part-time financial aid, so it won't be those full-time amounts of money that you're getting. If you check with your financial aid office, they'll be able to take a look at your information for you to let you know exactly how much money it is that you'll be eligible to get for just enrolling on a part-time basis. So that way you can make sure it will be enough to cover your tuition, your books, any supplies that you need, the whole 9 yards. Those amounts will vary from person to person, so they can make sure that you'll have the amounts that you need. You can enroll for full-time if you feel you can manage a full-time load and be okay with it and still manage your stress. You just need to have a minimum of 12 hours each term to be considered full-time, and then it will make you eligible for full-time financial aid amounts. And again, your financial aid office can let you know exactly how much those amounts will be. A lot of times when students enroll for full-time, they try and take as many classes as they can each semester because it'll help them get done quicker. Full-time is considered between 12 to 18 hours, so oftentimes students will shoot for that 18-hour maximum that they're permitted to get into so that they can get done faster. But the end result is going to be that it makes your tuition higher and that's going to increase your stress load. If you have 12 credit hours a term, then that's probably going to equal right around 3 or 4 classes for you or so to get to that 12 hours. If you enroll for closer to the 18-hour mark, you're probably looking at 5 to 6 classes in a term to be able to get up to that mark. Well, if you just enroll for the 12 hours, not only will you be saving yourself some money with tuition in most circumstances, but you'll also be reducing your stress level because that may be 2 less classes that you're involved in for that term. So it's going to make it a lot easier for you to manage your stress and to be successful because it's just 2 less classes that you have to worry about. And in essence, that's going to be a lot of work that you're saving yourself. So it's going to make it a lot easier for you to manage your stress. Your stress level will go down with each class. And then, of course, if you have to only enroll for the 6-hour mark that you need to be full-time, you're going to be looking at probably right around 2 classes to hit that 6-hour mark. So that's going to make a drastic difference, especially if you wanted to enroll for 18 hours. You know, you could decrease the classes that you're in by 4 classes, and that would be a huge drastic difference. It would give yourself a break. But at least by enrolling for part-time status, or even if you enroll for the 12 hours to get the bare minimum that you need for full-time, you would still be enrolled, you would still be making progress to your degree. It's not like you would end up losing a semester because you're sitting out entirely. So you'd be able to still be moving forward, but kind of give yourself a mental break from having so many classes. The second strategy I have for you is to manage your workload. Are you working while you're in school? Because that is going to increase your stress too. Just having a job alone is going to give you some stress with it. Even if you like your job, there's going to be some stress there. But if you're working full-time while going to school, and taking classes even full-time, compounding your stress significantly by juggling 2 major life things that you have going on at the same time. Are you able to cut back on your hours at work? Are you able to financially handle that? Is that something that your bosses will let you do to cut back? Even if you cut back from 40 hours a week to 30 hours a week, you would free up 10 extra hours per week that you'd be able to devote towards studying, which would ultimately reduce your stress level because you'd feel better prepared for your classes. Or you could take that time to rest or to do an activity that you like. Be able to use that 10 hours for something else that could help relieve some of the stress that you're feeling. If you're not, and a lot of times that may not be possible for people, maybe check and see if you can do some kind of a flexible work schedule. Sometimes people who work 40 hours a week may be able to do 4 10-hour days. You still get your 40 hours in, but you get an extra day off during the week. And an extra day off during the week could be devoted to doing homework or doing any kinds of other activities, or just simply resting to be able to catch up on your sleep, or just give your brain a break and make yourself feel better. Other alternatives may be to change the days that you're working so that you could have 2 or 3 days off in a row to be able to do homework or engage in other things. The third tip that I have for you is to talk to somebody. Talk to a professional. Talk to a psychologist or a counselor or a psychiatrist, even if you need it. If you've got health insurance, a lot of times health insurance will pay for that, so you can get that covered so you wouldn't be paying the full expense of that out of your pocket. Counselors and psychologists and psychiatrists really can be very helpful in managing your stress. You get to verbalize any kind of stress it is that you're having. They can help you work through that. They can help you find solutions to your stress, help you manage that, give you strategies and tips that maybe you hadn't thought of before to help minimize any stress that you're under. And there is absolutely no shame in going to talk to somebody, and nobody has to know. If you don't want to tell them, just don't tell them. Nobody will know anyway if you feel self-conscious about it. Some people do, and that's okay. But nobody has to know about it. If you don't want them to know about it, just don't share it. The fourth tip I have for you is to make friends. Friends are always very beneficial in helping to reduce your stress level, especially if you're at college. When you get there, that's a new environment. It can be scary, and if you don't know anybody, it just increases your stress. I recommend making at least one friend in every class that you have. That's very helpful too, because then if something happens and say you're sick and you have to miss a class, if you have a friend in the class, then when you return, you've got somebody who can bring you up to speed on what happened. They can let you copy their notes. They can tell you what was covered in the class. So you've got at least some relief there, knowing when you do go back, you're not going to be totally lost or have missed something significant that you need to know. You can also make friends by joining activities. And when you do that, you'll actually be making friends who have the same interests as you. You have something in common with these people. You have somebody that you can talk to. And just by socializing, even if you're an introvert, which I am a very big introvert, but I've even found that having friends reduces my stress because I've got someone to talk to. I've got someone to, when I'm having a bad day, go to them and say, hey, this went wrong, and this went wrong, and this went wrong. And they can listen. They can be a sympathetic ear. They can give me recommendations. Hey, I went through something like that before in the past, and here's what I did to make it better. So they'll give you some insight, some alternatives to fix it, or at least some suggestions on how you can best get through that. Making friends is always a definite bonus. It helps keep you happy. And in the end, happiness in itself is going to help keep your stress under control, keep it managed, keep it from escalating up to a point where you just don't feel like you can handle it. The next tip I have for you is reflect for a moment and make sure that you're actually at the right college. Are you in the right place? If you are in a college that just is not a good fit for you, it's going to make your stress level higher. You're going to feel pressured to try and be successful at some place that you really don't like. If you're in a school that's a good fit for you, you like the classes, you like your major, You like your academic advisor and your professors and the people that you encounter. If you are having a really good experience at the college that you're at, it's going to keep your stress level down. You're going to like being there. And although it's possible to get stressed out over something that you like, generally it helps keep the stress at bay. You've got something that you like. You've got some place that you like to be. When you get up in the morning, you're going to want to get up and get ready and go and be excited to be there, as opposed to having a college that you don't like, where you're going to get up and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to go back there today. I just can't do it. It can cause attendance problems because you don't want to go. It can cause problems with your classes. If you don't like your classes or your instructors or your major, you're not going to want to study. It can cause you to get bad grades. It can just make it a really big challenge for you to be successful in the end if you are not at the right place for you. If you realize that you are at the wrong school and that's just not working for you, don't be afraid to switch to a new school. Don't be afraid to research schools and find the right spot and switch to one where you know you're going to be happy and be able to do well. Another tip is to reflect and make sure you're at the right job. A lot of times a significant part of stress, a significant component, is that you're not working in the right spot or doing the right job for you. Reflect on how happy you are. How happy are you there? Do you like it? Do you like the people you work with? Do you like what you're doing? Are you a good fit for the particular job that you're doing? Just like what I recommended with the schools a second ago, if you are in the wrong job, it is going to be a significant part of stress. Don't be afraid to switch to a new job, to the job that's a good fit for you, to the right employer, to the right job, to the right utilization of your skills through whatever it is that you're doing. If you have a job that you like, it's going to help keep your stress low. If you have a job that you don't like or an employer that you don't like, it will indeed be a significant part of your stress. It will be a very big part. It's going to make you so stressed out that you'll get up in the morning and think to yourself, I can't go. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be in college again. I don't want to be at my desk again. I don't want to be outside working wherever it is that I'm working. It's going to be a really big challenge for you to try and get through the day if you have to get up and know that you go someplace that you're going to hate. The last tip I have for you is to keep a journal. Write it out. Even if you're not a writer and you don't like it, you don't have to write very much, but write a little bit and write in it every day. You can write down anything that you want to. It's going to help you feel better if you can get it out, and you don't even need to verbalize it. If you're writing it, you're still getting it out, and that in the end is going to make you feel better because you have transferred any anger or any bad feelings or any stress or any negative emotions that you're having. You will be transferring them to paper. You will be getting it off your chest. It's going to help you feel better. And it's a private journal. Nobody will see it unless you show that to them. And if you don't want anybody to read it, just keep it in a private spot. Keep it someplace where people won't find it, so they won't pick it up and wonder what it is and be tempted to read it, either on accident or on purpose. Keep it someplace secret and safe so they don't look at it. Get all of your negative emotions out. You'll end up feeling better in the end because you will have transferred all of that information off your chest. Make sure that you write every day, date each day, so that way you can always go back and look later and reflect on how you were feeling, see any kind of progress that you've made. You'll be able to see that progress on a day-by-day basis. You can see how you were feeling, what challenges you had, and be able to see how you solved them. This way, if you go through any challenges again in the future, you can look back and say, hey, I encountered that before. Here's what I did to get through it. I'm going to try it again. Those are the tips that I've got for you to manage your stress. I hope that that helps and that you've gotten some good information out of this video. Again, thanks very much for tuning into my video, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.